Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to today's live level up conversation. Whether you're tuning here and you're with me live or you're joining me on replay, thanks so much for making the time. Happy Tuesday. Let's dive right in.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market updates. Speed round. Award-winning financial pro. And now, get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the show. I'm Winnie Sun, your host and award-winning financial pro, a Forbes contributor, and a CNBC Council member. I'm thrilled to be joining here live with you. So jump in, say hello. Most importantly, let me know how your week is going, how busy you've been. I know, a lot of people, we got the holidays coming up, and I know a lot of people will be traveling very soon. So we've got a lot of fun shows scheduled for you this week, and I might even have a guest pretty soon. So I'm excited to be here with you. But we have much to be thankful for. And then let's talk about today because the market, if you haven't been paying attention, is doing wonderfully. Now it's about to close here in about 30 plus minutes. But let's give you some good news on where we're at currently. The Dow is currently up 562 points. It's been rising. In fact, the Nasdaq's up 343 points, and the S&P 500 is also up 94 points currently. We'll check back in before the show is over. But yes, the Dow Jones is surging, and we are seeing a tremendous upside on today. The S&P 500, Nasdaq, everything's doing very well. In fact, this month has been really quite surprisingly wonderful for the stock market. The S&P, the Dow, Nas, all positive this month. In fact, the Nasdaq is showing significant strength this month, over a 9.6% increase so far. This is the largest jump, if you will, since January. Now, why is the market doing so well today? Well, let's just say this was the news that you and I have been waiting for some time now. We're talking months, even years now at this point. The consumer price index, or the major index that we monitor when we talk about inflation, is showing that, believe it or not, inflation levels are getting to be better. In fact, it's showing that a lot of the prices, including energy and food prices, are showing its slowest growth or increase in prices in over 2 years. This information is exactly what we've been waiting for, and also what the Federal Reserve needs to potentially stop its rate hiking campaign to get inflation to more reasonable levels. But it's also showing investors like myself and yourself that some of those pretty dramatic moves of racketing up those interest rates are now starting to work. In fact, following the report, the Fed funds futures indicated that the probability of another rate hike next month is now completely off the table. Analysts are saying not going to happen. Now, this was down for about 14% of people or analysts who were surveyed felt that December would still have another rate hike, but now it looks like that number is close to zero. So you're seeing a lot of optimism. You're seeing people feel more comfortable with the financial markets today, and therefore you're seeing that big blue wave coming through the financial markets. So we'll take it, right? We always like seeing the positivity in the financial markets, especially for those of you who are investing. All right, let's talk about our stories for today. I've got not a whole bunch, but I think some pretty fun stories I want to share with you. And one of them is coming out of Tesla. We talk about Tesla a lot on this show. We talk about Elon Musk, but this is one I'm actually pretty excited to share with you. Believe it or not, Tesla might be coming out with movie theaters. And I'm like, yes, please. Now, they're saying, is rapidly constructing a 1950s style diner here in Southern California. This is going to give you sort of that drive-in movie theater experience in Hollywood, which would not only serve as entertainment, but serve also as a supercharger station with 32 charging stalls. So imagine this. this is something that I've talked to my husband about. I said, you know, I love driving an electric vehicle, but compared to going to the gas station and filling up that tank, the process takes a really long time. I mean, you really have to be patient and sit there and get your car supercharged. Well, this project might just make charging your car a lot more enjoyable. This was a project initially teased by Elon Musk nearly 6 years ago, and he's received approval from the LA Department of Building and Safety. This was just in August. So, this Hollywood site, which I'm guessing when this first comes out, that it's going to have long lines on it for sure. But this is going to be located along the historic Route 66, which was chosen initially, planning sort of this diner in the Santa Monica area. But it's going to be a two-story restaurant, which will feature movie screens, a rooftop bar, a car hop style wait staff for you when you can even like order your food ahead of time so that you're charging, you're eating, you're having some entertainment. Now, Tesla hasn't officially talked about this project, but construction people are, there's a lot of really smart people checking this stuff out in Los Angeles. They're seeing the construction take place, and they're suggesting that this could possibly even be completed by the end of this year, which is really interesting because Elon Musk typically likes to tease things like this, but maybe because of what we've seen with Cybertruck, he's gonna just wait and see, make sure it all pans out before he shares this information on Twitter/X for all of us. But this initiative they're saying could pave the way for more of these charge and dining stations, charge entertainment stations. So people are very excited about this. Let's just see how popular this becomes. Because I will say that, so often I'm grateful when a charging station is near some shopping venue or like the grocery store, so you can kind of take care of things while you're waiting. But yes, this I think is going in that right direction for sure. Now, speaking of things that are sort of, new and unique, this is something that isn't completely unique, but maybe something that you've used or maybe haven't used, but it's dealing with, one of those sort of growing pains, if you will. This is through Zelle. Now, if you have a bank account, many of you have Zelle set up with your bank account. I certainly do. Zelle is sort of like PayPal and, the different ways of Venmo, different ways of peer-to-peer payment. Well, Zelle, the peer-to-peer payment, has officially initiated refunds for victims of imposter scams. Now, this is a really big deal because this is sort of a really significant policy shift to address some consumer protection concerns that have been raised by U.S. lawmakers here in the United States and, of course, the Federal Consumer Watchdog. And this is a policy saying this refund policy, which has been in effect since June 30th, will apply to customers who have been unfortunately tricked and taken advantage of into sending money to scammers who impersonate government agencies, companies, service providers. Now, this has involved over 2,100 financial firms who use a Zelle. Now, this includes major banks such as Bank of America and Chase or JP Morgan Chase. And in fact, this fraud was reported in the United States in 2022, which is accounted for over 2.6, or about $2.6 billion in losses. This is according to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. So now Zelle is saying they've created new mechanisms to reduce fraud rates and, of course, clawing back funds from recipients' accounts and flagging these very risky transfers. So they're really taking steps to reduce some of this fraud, and hopefully in the future, users of this very popular peer-to-peer app and technology will feel comfortable knowing that there are some protections. I know PayPal touts that they have protections in place as well. Obviously not completely perfect, but something better than nothing. But especially since things are going more technology driven, and having this easier access to transfer money and receive money is just another layer of security that we all need to be able to use this technology. Because let's face it, writing a check has its risks as well. Depositing money at banks is just not as convenient. And knowing that the technology exists, we just have to find a way to use it that works to everybody's benefit as well. So I see. Thank you so much, Joshua, joining us on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I saw a lot of friends joining us on LinkedIn as well, on Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. Come in and say hello. We love to see where you're joining us from today. All right. So let me just share with you one more story. And this is one that we're actually going to be having a guest soon come in on the show to talk about this. But what you may have known, or maybe if you're going to be flying anytime soon, you probably see the rise in costs of airfare prices. They're absolutely high. But not only that, the crowds during this holiday season, let's just say you may have seen some of the reports I've been seeing coming out of the TSA talking about the increase in travel. We're not just talking about increase in travel of a few hundred, a few thousand. They're saying that this holiday season, which starts this Friday, is going to be the busiest holiday season on record. So this, of course, can be a very difficult time and stressful time due to crowded airports, very expensive tickets, and of course, the risk of flight delays and cancellations. But many companies, including travel companies, are saying that if you have to travel during the holidays, you actually might want to consider doing so on the holiday itself. So for Thanksgiving, maybe travel Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and whatnot. This actually could encounter fewer travelers and even potentially lower costs and fewer disruptions. Let's be honest, one of the big things now is like when you travel, it's not just like your traveling experience, but also you just want to be able to get there. So, here in Southern California, I have a lot of friends because traveling for different events and whatnot, and they'll always sort of pick the smaller airports. And I said, you know what? I might be sort of one of those anomalies, but I actually prefer to fly out of LAX, a big airport. And they said, well, why don't you go to like, Burbank or go to Long Beach? And I'm like, no, actually, I prefer LAX because there's so many more flights going out of a very large airport. So in case of disruption, I can actually jump on a flight more quickly than at a smaller airport, which probably has less flights going in and out of it. So things to think about. They're also talking about avoiding peak travel days. Of course, the Tuesday, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and the 21st to the 22nd around Christmas also tends to be the busiest and, of course, the most crowded as well. So, a lot of tips are coming in. And with that in mind, we're going to actually invite a travel expert on the show very, very soon to talk about that and give you even more tips on how to maximize your travel as well. And of course, we had to end the show with a happy story and thinking about the season of giving. I think I want to do this more often and kind of share some of these stories because as we're going through the holidays, sometimes we just want to remember what these holidays are all about. Well, this is a story coming out of Japan. This is Shohei Otani. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. He is a two-way star, coveted free agent, and guess this. He and his one of his sponsors that he works with is going to be making a donation of 60,000 baseball gloves to Japanese elementary schools. So you may recognize his name. Otani actually spent about 6 seasons here in Los Angeles playing for the Los Angeles Angels, and he made this announcement on Instagram lately, and people just love this very sweet message. His donation will reach every elementary school in Japan. This is totaling around 20,000 schools in Japan. Now, his goal is to bring the joy and energy of baseball to kids all over Japan. Now, these baseball gloves are being donated from New Balance. In fact, to be honest with you, I didn't even know New Balance made gloves, but now we know New Balance makes baseball gloves and is one of Otani's corporate partners. So This is a great thing. That's what we love to hear. Now, if you have other stories like that, or you're seeing this in the news, definitely send me a message, direct message me on social media, or post and just tag at Winnie Sun. So I'll see your message. These are stories that we want to share around the holidays, and it kind of gives us that much more meaning. And with that, let's take a look at the market. We are going to be here for another 21 minutes before the market closes. Currently, the Dow is up just shy of 550 points in the positive, so it's at 549. Nasdaq's up over 350 points currently, and the S&P 500 still staying strong above 93 points currently. So we've got about 20 minutes to go. I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to end on a very positive note today in the green. So we love it, right? That's great. And I see Joshua sharing that no holiday plans yet. You know what? I'm with you there. I'm a sort of a contrarian traveler. I like to travel on off-season dates whenever possible. So yeah, actually my family and I just came back from a really short but amazing staycation that hopefully I'll share with you relatively soon on the show. But thank you so much, my friends, for being here. It's been such a treat seeing all of you joining us, and a big thank you for following Level Up Live. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And make sure to share this show on social media. Tag me at Winnie Sun so I can probably thank you. And remember, you can find full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Samsung, Roku, and many other streaming platforms. With that, I'll see you again tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care and be well. Bye bye now.